everyone, this is Sunette here in this video to discuss an interesting experience that many who have become aware of the mind or your own mind may be quite familiar with. And this is where you find yourself in a space in your own head where it feels like a Pandora's box opened up when it comes to how busy your thoughts suddenly seem to be. How, you have your constant inner dialogue going on and, talking to yourself about this and then that, and then your self-conversation, kind of going to one extreme and then to another, and then you randomly start thinking about completely different things. And even, the the very common one where, have you ever thought about something and you start wondering about it and, playing it out in your head, and then suddenly you find yourself thinking about something shockingly different, where you wake up and go, how the hell did I start thinking about this? I started in my head thinking about, what my plans were for dinner. And now all of a sudden, I am starting to think about, what if the worst case scenario starts happening with my family, my children, my house, my life, money. That's also one that really shocks us back to reality quite often. And this is also something, if you're not yet at the moment relating to it exactly, I can actually guarantee it happens to you more than you realize, where you will be wondering in your mind about seemingly practical daily things, but before you know it, your thoughts are actually controlling the direction of your awareness to a completely different train of thought and emotional experience. There have been times in the beginning of my process where I started becoming aware of my own thoughts, my own emotions, my own experiences. And here, for those who are not yet as familiar with the basic components and constructs and dimensions of your own mind, such as what is thinking, what is inner dialogue, what is emotions, feelings, what is the polarity extremes of ups and downs, positive, negative, and neutral, that your mind can, control your awareness within. And not only that, but also what is your awareness relationship with your mind. Here you can have a listen to the Basics series that is available on eQuaf. But, for me as well, when I started becoming aware of the basics of my own mind, I oftentimes found myself, where I'm starting to be thinking just about my week. And this would be me just having a cup of coffee, relaxing. And then all of a sudden I found myself starting to cry. And I was starting to think about, losing loved ones and what would I do if they die, and, looking at how I would act or behave at their funeral and things like that. It was really random and bizarre what would come up in my head. And I've had so many people throughout this process asking me this question, why does it sometimes seem like, everything in my head seems so out of control, so random, so bizarre, and it's like I can't get a grip on it. And equally so, I can't get a grip on just reality, centering myself, grounding myself, anchoring myself, feeling stable. And what I have found here in my process is whenever I start a new phase of awareness, what do I mean by phase of awareness? We all know that in our experience within our minds, you have your conscious mind layer, your subconscious mind, your unconscious mind, and then through the portal, we also discovered the quantum mind, the quantum physical mind, or physical mind, and beingness programming. So there's quite a few multidimensional mind layers in becoming aware of the extent to which our consciousness really in fact exists. And in this, whenever I would become more aware of a new phase, a new layer, like for example, everyone starts off their process of just becoming aware of your conscious and subconscious mind. And the more aware you become of that, and so yourself, and your body, the more deeper your awareness can go. And in that, it's like a new reality, a new world almost inside yourself unlocks. A new world of thinking, of inner dialogue, of experiences, of emotions and movements and memories. And it's in that where it sometimes feels like you can barely come up for air inside the busyness of your own mind. And you'll find in your process there'll be these phases and times where it feels like, yes, I have finally got a directive or a directive principle on my thoughts and my inner dialogue and my experiences, where you almost feel very calm and comfortable in your own space and in your physical body. And then other times where it feels like you're just all over the place and you don't know where's left, right, up, down, here, inside yourself and your own body. But those phases there, where you just for moments feel like you're, for some time, everything just seems so busy inside yourself. You must know you are becoming aware of a new layer or a new phase or a new experience inside yourself. And this is also very much where EQUAF, assists and supports in whenever you're going through such a busyness inside your mind. Just ask yourself, okay, what is this busyness all about? What's the general nature of this busyness? What is the energy within and behind it? Because I also sometimes found that, in the busyness of my mind, I start to look too much at the thoughts in themselves or the inner dialogue and the projections and the imagination and the wonderings. And in that, you can kind of get lost trying to figure out why on earth is my head so busy? When if you don't so much focus on the content, but look at the nature of your experience in your mind, the nature meaning the energy, you'll find that there's one or few energies that's creating that busyness, like the nature of your thoughts and inner dialogue and projections is, for example, fear or anxiety or stress. Then what you have to do is have a look at, okay, where in my life on deeper levels inside myself that I haven't yet paid attention to, am I still actually accessing a lot of fear, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety that's currently being channeled into my conscious and subconscious mind? You see, we oftentimes think or believe that, the only content that's coming up in our conscious, subconscious mind that we are immediately seeing is what is valid to work with. When all the while, you must remember that what you become conscious of, or what's happening in your mind that you can immediately see, is mostly always translated from things that's going on inside of you on deeper levels of your mind, your consciousness, your being. All right. So this video just explaining for everyone, that when you go through those stages in your process, it feels like your mind is so busy and you can't get to grips with it. And it's just all over the place. Just take a moment with yourself, have a look at what is the energy, the nature within and behind it, and define those emotions, and then ask yourself, okay, where in my life, in my everyday life, or in unresolved memories or past experiences, am I still daily triggering and accessing these emotions that's creating this massive busyness in my mind? And then consult EQUAF to assist and support, with the necessary interviews or material to explain to you how can you work with what you have just become aware of within yourself to, again, just get yourself back to a point of more calm, stability, being grounded within yourself. All right, everyone. Thank you very much.